Okay, so welcome back, and now let's see where we can further work with this data set and further reduce the list of predictors down to an even more manageable level. So previously we have identified that you can eliminate two predictors, and the end result will be a model that looks like this. So first, let me show you one little trick. So I go into summary, look at the variable importance. So I have 52 predictors that are used in this run. And now I can highlight all of these predictors and then quickly click on this new keep list button. What it does, it opens a text window that reports the keep command that can be used in order to select those 52 predictors out of 55. That's an enormous time saver, because all you need to do is say File, Submit Window, or use the Control-W shortcut. And now all of these variables were submitted to SPM, so I'm going to close it. And when you go back to Model Setup, now only 52 predictors out of the original 57 were selected. As you can see, some of these predictors like exclamation mark, dollar sign, and so on were eliminated from our predictor list. And again, if I rebuild my model at this point, I will see that these are essentially all of my, under summary reports, variable importance. These are my predictors sorted in order of importance. Now, at this point, I know that variables near the top of the list really are important. I ran battery shaving from the top, and now I can focus on variables that are the least important. And this goes along the lines of traditional variable selection. So what you basically do, you say, okay, let's take this list, remove the least important variable, rebuild the model, and then look at the performance, look at the variable importance, remove the next least important variable, and continue doing it, this kind of backwards variable elimination, until you've eliminated all of the variables. And again, there is a facility in SPM that allows you to do that. It's the same battery shaving. So I'm going to pick battery shaving. And this time I'll set its options as shaving from the bottom. And this time I will also do complete round of shaving. So I'll shave one predictor at a time, but I will do it all the way until no variables are left. So I'm click OK, click Start. And at this point, I will be constructing a collection of 52 runs, as you can see from here. And each subsequent run has one fewer predictors, and the least important predictor from the previous run is being eliminated. So in a way, this is very typical to conventional variable reduction techniques, and you can do it not one variable at a time, you can do it multiple variables at a time. I know sometimes you can also do it by hand. Let's say if you have a very long original list of predictors, then you don't really have to go through this one at a time step. But sooner or later, you will want to actually experiment with removing all of these variables one at a time, the way it's shown here. All right, so we're almost finished. We're almost done. So let's see what happens next. 52 runs. So the SPM is going to summarize all of them as one overall table. So it's almost there. So it needs to do a lot of that additional extra reporting. Okay, so the report is here. And notice there's a lot going on with my relative cost. By and large, initially, as my model is getting smaller and smaller, I'm losing a little bit of performance. So the performance goes up. but not until I get to the point when I only have about 13 predictors when I start losing my performance at a dramatic rate. And again, same story. The original 52 predictor model has all of the available predictors that were selected in the keep list at that point. And then as each iteration, one of the least important predictors gets eliminated, and then the resulting relative cost curve is shown here. And by the way, you don't have to look at relative cost. You can also look at area and ROC curve, because those are somewhat alternative measures of performance. But as far as the relative cost goes, what you can see from here, there's a very lengthy segment. There's a lot of variables that can be safely eliminated until you reach the point when you have only 13 predictors left, and you're still getting reasonable values for your relative cost. So I'm going to double click on that model that has 13 predictors. And this time, when you look at the summary, look at the variable importance, here is the list of 13 predictors that survived that shaving from the bottom process. And again, for your future reference, you can highlight all of these, click the New Keep List button. Here is that exact list of 13 predictors that were identified. So you can save this as, let's say, keep 13 for future use if you want to, and you can also submit it as a window such that the next time you go to the model setup, you can actually see only 13 predictors selected. So as you can see, at this point we managed to reduce the list of available predictors from the set of 52 down to a much smaller set of only 13. Which is a huge reduction. And we used battery shaving from the bottom in order to accomplish that feat. Now, is this the end of the story? Well, in many situations, this will be it. You may be perfectly happy with the list, the predictors that you've discovered. But what I'm going to show in the next segment is that there is also yet another piece of machinery that may, in some cases, help you to reduce this list even further.